Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. Kind of a miserable day out here in central Ontario, Canada, but we do have a bit of a break in the weather, and so I'm going to make the best of it, and I'm going to get down to the continuation of our new sawmill shed build. Now, I've been considering all the things that you've been sending me over the last little while. I've got all kinds of emails and comments with designs and ideas for a new sawmill shed layout. Please continue sending those off to me. I'm looking for the best possible scenario for a new sawmill shed. Just to recap where we're at, we've got this setup currently with that shed over there. My goal here today is to take this part down. I'm going to take down the steel off the top of that lean-to. I'm going to take down the framing members, and then that shed at the back will move. Now, just to get over to this side so we can see the rest of what's staying, this right over here is staying for the interim. This is where I'm going to continue to stack lumber. This is going to go. That's what we're up against here today. As I said, as more ideas pour in, I will eventually have a blank slate here, and then I can put into action some of the ideas that you're giving me and hopefully come up with the best possible scenario for a band sawmill setup. I'm looking to have a log deck that feeds the sawmill. I'm also looking to have an area where I can unload the slab wood, unload the lumber, stack it up in preparation for going into the shed. And I also want to have a little bit of space so I can clear away all the inevitable sawdust that's created. Give me your best ideas out there. I am completely open to anything at this point. And just keep in mind where I live. I need the structure to hold up an awful lot of snow. I also need it to be highly accessible for not only the sawmill, but also for snow clearing. I'm going to be clearing an awful lot of snow in here in the coming months. Anyways, with less talk, I'm going to get down to work. I'm heading up there on the ladder. We'll get all the steel roofing unbolted. I'll use that again. And once that's down, then I'll tackle taking down some of the framing. We'll definitely reuse that. Here we go. All right. Well, the good thing is the roof is not all that steep. I can't remember exactly what it is, but I think it's like a 412 pitch. And so it won't be too bad. You guys wait over there and I'll make my way up here. Good thing with roofing steel as opposed to anything else, you know, shingles or the sorts, you can reuse it. Trying to judge how slippery this is. A little bit. Not too bad. Okay. Trying to walk on all the framing members as opposed to denting the steel. This isn't the heaviest gauge stuff. This is some inexpensive steel. Anyways, let's get down to work, shall we? I'll be using this guy. Kind of feels like yesterday I put this stuff up. Funny, I get up on the roof and then all of a sudden it starts raining. I guess that's life. I got all the sheets unscrewed, so I'm going to set you down and then we're going to slide them off the back there, and I'll just make my way back this way towards the ladder. At least that's the plan. If you haven't seen the top of this sawmill shed, you can see it right up there. Now this shed here is quite a bit steeper. When I built it, I did a bit overboard That's close to a 12-12 pitch. It might be 10-12. I can't quite remember at this point. But that is 12-inch on center for the rafters. That is certainly not going anywhere. Anyways, let's get this down. And I should probably stop talking as the rain continues to pick up the pace. That nest I'll show you in a minute. Check that out up there. The squirrels have pretty much taken over. Anyways, pretty remarkable what the sun will do to the steel roof here. This material here is the same material as down here, just a little design difference. You can see where it was covered and not covered. Anyways, we're on the last two sheets. Let's get down. My concern with this is I knock the ladder out because I don't have anyone else out here to help me get that ladder back up. But I think we're all right. Left those screws in so that the sheet that I was kneeling on doesn't go for a ride with me on it. Now that we're done, we can take them off. Okay. Well, here's where we're at. I don't really have a plan in place. Well, not much of one anyways. I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to come at it with the forks. And I'm more or less going to pull the rafter off this way and then move my way down. I'm hoping I can pull it off this way. And that will allow it to get sort of unnailed at that end. And we'll see how that works. I generally don't build things to take them apart. And so I have a feeling I built this with the intention of it being here forever. I just hope I didn't glue the rafters to the overhang on that shed, because if I glued it right there, I'm going to probably have to cut those or I'll destroy the rafters on this shed. Anyways, let's put a bit of a force to it and see what happens. It'll come down one way or another. Let's hope it's the good way. Here we go. Oh, that's one way to take down a shed, I suppose. I don't know if it's the best way, but it was the easiest for me. It's good to take things down every once in a while, then you know how strong it is. And I can tell you one thing, those RDoC spiral nails, those 3.5-inch framing nails that I use, they sure put a hold on to the lumber when you get them put in there. If you notice, most of the wood broke when I was trying to push up on it. It didn't actually pull the nails out every situation. Like, check it out here. Those nails are holding tight for the most part, of course. And even some of the joists, you know, it didn't want to let go up there. It broke the wood. Now, that's okay. That means that every other project I built with those same nails are in good shape. I think because I often build with green lumber as well, you drive the nail into the green lumber, then the green lumber shrinks, and it puts an extra hold on the nails. You may have noticed as I was moving things, I accidentally bumped my pile over a little bit. But aside from that, I think things went pretty well. I had intended on it coming down this way. I didn't want it to fall away. I wanted it to sort of do exactly what it did, more or less seesaw down onto the log bunks. Some other things I'm noticing here, the methods that I use to connect the posts to the beams, they seem to be pretty solid because I didn't actually get any movement there, which is great. I wanted the nails to pull out on the joists as opposed to the rafters, as opposed to the joint where the beam and the post connect. I want that to stay firm, and it looks like it just did that, so that's a good thing. At this point, I'm probably not going to drive the tractor in here to do any more, because inevitably I'll get a hole in the tire and all this will be for naught. And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to break out the chainsaw. We'll call that the backwoods carpentry saw, and we'll go through, and I'm just going to cut off the top of the rafters here. I'll worry about getting it taken off the beam, backing out those nails at another time. For now, I'm just going to get the wood cut off, and then I've got a pretty big job ahead of me getting all these nails out so I can salvage some lumber. If you're interested in this little task, I'd be happy to have you. Jokes aside though, we have a bit of a job ahead of us, but I'll reuse that beam, the posts, and whatever lumber I can. Here we go.